Right, so I need to pack my gym bag. I never ever wear a shirt like this. That must mean we'll be up to something today. What are we up to? We're going out for lunch. So yes, good morning. It is that time of the week again. Well, it's not really, is it? Because I never go out for lunch. I couldn't even tell you the last time I did, but my mum and dad are away at the minute, and my nan worried that me and my brother are not looking after ourselves, eating as well as maybe we would when mum normally cooks. She said, let's come out today for lunch with them. So we're going to a nice little cafe locally, which we've never been before. And of course, that means I'm going to be dressing up a little bit. So yes, I've got a smart shirt there. And essentially today, I want to kind of pick which fragrance to wear. I've got so many sort of, let's say, kind of networking daytime statement sort of sense that maybe I don't wear often because I'm obviously doing my workouts and I think, oh, well, I want something a little bit less formal, less serious. But today there's a perfect occasion to wear something a little bit more statement as well. So obviously I'm going to do my morning workout today. I'm going to have a little look in my drawer in a minute and pick some fragrances out that can potentially be the one I wear today. And we're going to rank them on the usual 5 categories to see which one I will ultimately pick today, which one's the best essentially for that occasion. Lunch out at a local cafe. So yeah, nothing too serious, nothing too formal, but something that actually makes you look like you've made a bit of an effort. That's kind of what I'm looking for here today. So yeah, going to get into my running gear, have a little look in my drawer, and then I'll show you the contenders for the competition. So I'm finally into my running gear, and I have picked 3 fragrances. Now I kind of went for a bit of the same theme here. I didn't want anything, again, too serious, too formal, too expensive either, because ultimately my nan and grandpa, it's not, they're not too worried. They're going to probably be in shorts and hats and caps and all sorts of things. So didn't want anything too much today that was going to be like, okay, I'm trying to make a bit of a scene. So I picked 3. The first one here is the real cheapie of the lot, and it's called Airport Arrival by Marks and Spencer. It's actually now been rebranded. It's called Deep Mimosa, and Mimosa is the main selling point of this fragrance as well. It's really nice. It almost reminds me, and I've said this before, it's got this lovely floral component, really lovely floral component, but it almost smells to me like a library, but someone's like sprayed a nice floral perfume, like a lavender perfume in it. It's kind of like that feeling of books and fragrance, like a floral fragrance sprayed over books, pages from books, because of that sort of smoky vibe to it. It's very nice. It's very interesting. It's a great scent. And when I tried the Discovery sets from Marks and Spencer's, this was the one that really reached out to me. And when I realised they were releasing it in 100ml bottle sizes, I had to get it. It's a very nice scent, unisex fragrance. Perfect. Next one, Bentley For Men Absolute. Always gets a little bit forgotten, this one. That it's still a very popular fragrance, but obviously Bentley For Men Intense, around the similar price range, definitely gets more of the hype. But this one is fantastic. If you like dry woods, this one's perfect. I believe it's got a bit of pink pepper in it, which adds this bit of sparkle. I get this Coca-Cola vibe with this one. I know a couple of you have said that as well, and it's really nice. Sparkling woods, definitely a sparkling woods, but again, that masculine edge, it does feel like a man's fragrance, that someone who does drive the Bentley. And then again, this one that probably leans slightly more feminine, so I've kind of really gone for the lot here. Sakura, by Lush body spray. It's one of their ones that tends to always be around. They tend to do limited edition ones that come and go. As it is, Sakura's the main thing. I'll just read it here. It says, drift along the cherry blossom breeze with uplifting bouquet of mimosa and orange flowers absolute. So obviously cherry blossoms, the Sakura element to it. But this one to me is more about the orange than anything else. The orange is definitely the strongest bit here. It's quite zesty, this one. It's quite strong on that citrus. And then the cherry blossom is definitely there, adding that floral component. But it does feel like it's slightly behind the orange in this. The orange does take over, which makes it very wearable. Nice for a day like today. You probably see there's a bit of sun coming through. Feels like perfect for a lunchtime out because it has got that element of quality, which Lush is brilliant for, that sophistication. So what we're going to do, we're going to head out from a run then, and we're going to go through the first couple of categories. So which one's the best price that's fair for money, and which one would be the most versatile, most suited towards that occasion essentially today when you are sort of dressing up. So yeah, what I'm going to do, get the stretching done. I'll see you out there. And we are off, and it may not look like it, but it is super early. I don't even think it's gone 7 o'clock yet. I'm about 20 minutes earlier than usual to make sure I'm packed for lunch, but more importantly to make sure I choose the right fragrance for that occasion today. And we're going to start with price that's value for money for these 3 fragrances. So the cheapest fragrance of the 3, for £12 for 100ml, is Deep Mimosa, or as I've got it called, Airport Arrival by Marks and Spencer's. That's gone up a couple of pounds. It was £10, £12 though. It's still a cheapie for 100ml. Then the next one, again, the prices do fluctuate on this one a lot, but Bentley For Men Absolute tends to be £25 to £30 for 100ml. And then for a 200ml body spray, which performs just like a usual fragrance, just like an eau de toilette, Lush Sakura, you're going to be paying around that £30 range. So which one is definitely not going to win this round for price slash value for money? I feel harsh saying this, but I'm going to start with Lush Sakura is out of this round. Look, it does smell really good. The oils of this are fantastic, and the one compliment I always give Lush is they do simplicity very well. They don't chuck in 20, 30 notes in their fragrances. They tend to put 3 or 4 notes in. So in the case of this one, cherry blossom, a bit of orange, and it just makes this really nice natural smelling fragrance, really natural oils, which I love. But it does lack a bit of that complexity and depth about it as a result. I feel like this one's great casually and great with like a floral shirt, which would be fine for today. But compared to the other two, I want something that's a little bit more serious, just ever so slightly more serious, to complement that jazzy shirt I'm wearing today. So then we got the other two, Bentley For Men Absolute, and then Deep Mimosa, or Airport Arrival as I had it by Marks and Spencer's. There's no two ways about it. The highest smelling fragrance, the highest quality smelling fragrance is Bentley For Men Absolute. It's got this James Bond vibe, someone who drives a Bentley about it, like pink pepper and woods combined. Honestly, if I'd never smelt it before, I'd say it's worth £80 to £90. And it's very, you know, it's to me, it's just as good as Bentley For Men Intense. But it's got this seriousness about it, which I think for today, as much as I absolutely love my grandparents, I don't want to be too serious with them. You know, I know them. If I was maybe going to like a works meeting, I would understand it more, and maybe that one would be more suited. But I want it to kind of be a bit casual and still feel like I've made an effort. And I think that's where Deep Mimosa, which is going to win this round for price slash value for money, is so good. Like my brother, honestly, this morning, I was downstairs, I heard him say, "Oh, you've got Deep Mimosa on," and he has this one as well. And for someone that's tried 500 to 1,000 fragrances, which he would have done, for him to instantly pick that out and notice it above the other two, and not only that, because he owns it, choose then to wear it himself for today, makes you think this one has some uniqueness, some quality about it, and more depth than it should do for the price you're paying. So for £12 to get that sort of quality, it's a no-brainer. It wins this price slash value for money. You can get 2 of these for the price of 1 Bentley For Men Absolute, and that makes it a winner for the first round for price slash value for money. Moving on to versatility. Now, of course, normally I'm talking about how much you can use these fragrances in different situations when I talk about this round, but of course today we're talking about wearing fragrance for one certain occasion, that's going out for lunch with family. So I'm going to kind of rank this round slightly differently today. Now, obviously I'm going straight from home, I'm not at work today, but some people might be going for lunch with family or friends after they've been to the gym, maybe on their lunch break at work, or if they've been shopping, for example, they might just be going to get a bit of shopping and then drive straight there for lunch with family. So I'm kind of picking which fragrance is the best to get me through the whole day while factoring in a lunchtime meal with family and friends. Now, I'm going to instantly rule out Bentley For Men Absolute here. First of all, because it is the most serious of the three, and if you're going out for lunch with family and friends, I don't want it to be too serious. This isn't meant to be a serious lunch or anything. You know, it's no special occasion particularly. I don't need to dress up and make a statement. But also with that fragrance, it is marketed for men. The other two are much more unisex. And I do feel with that fragrance that as much as it's very pleasant, it's one that's a bit more grown up as well. So if you're a younger person who's, you know, early 20s, for example, this isn't as appealing as maybe the other two because the notes are a bit darker, a bit smokier, and maybe not suited to this time of year, the springtime where it is warming up a little bit. So then it leaves me the other two. And the winner I'm going to give for this round is Lush Sakura body spray. I think for me, that the big thing that marks down Deep Mimosa, and we'll obviously talk about it a little bit later on, is its performance. Very strong in the opening, but where I find it is a bit cheaper, it drops off a lot quicker. So almost like start of this run, I'll notice it for the first hour and then it will disappear. And if I'm doing things in the morning, I almost feel by the time I get to that work lunch or lunch with family and friends, I'm not going to really notice it, so it defeats the purpose. Lush Sakura's got the most recognisable notes in men's and women's fragrances. You know, Sakura's in men's and women's fragrances in equal measure, mainly more in feminine scents, but orange is of course a very popular note in perfumery. Lush are the masters at doing simplicity well. They only put 3 or 4 notes into their fragrances normally, and that's what they've done here with really natural oils, gives it that element of class sophistication. You've made a bit of an effort without being too serious, and it's super strong. This has got me through the day at work shifts before. It feels the most suitable if I'm going to the gym, going shopping, and I just know for a fact it's the most reliable. I can overspray because it's a slightly bigger bottle as well, and for this time of year, springtime, summertime, it just feels the best one of the three. No two ways about it. So I'm going to give the winner for versatility this round to Lush Sakura. So no room spray test today for the projection. We're going to do a spray off. So if you haven't seen a spray off before, I know they're very popular with some people. Essentially, I'm going to spray all 3 fragrances in the air. And I'm going to see which one is the strongest so I can give a winner on projection. Because in terms of the run, I didn't really notice any. No fragrance particularly stood out more than the others. So I think this is the perfect time to do a spray off to determine the winner. So I'm going to put you down. Right, I'm going to grab all 3 fragrances, get them all ready. And we'll see which one's the strongest. Now I'm going to give Deep Mimosa and Bentley a spray second. I'm going to spray, because this is the biggest atomizer, Sakura first, because it's so strong. It gives such a miss by the time it falls down. I'll do 2 of that, and then we'll do 3 of these ones, and we'll see which one's the strongest. I'll walk away. Right, I'm going to walk away for a second, and I'm going to walk back over there and tell you which one is the strongest. Okay, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. It's more because my brother mentioned it earlier that he noticed this one. The Marks and Spencer is the strongest. Now I'm starting to get Sakura. That's starting to come through. Bentley For Men Absolute. Not at all. It's not doing very well, that one today. And it's an absolutely great scent, I must admit. But I've got to give, just for that real opening blast, as I said earlier on during my run, it does fall off quite quickly. But yeah, Deep Mimosa, or Airport Arrival in my case, has won this round, so it's 2-1 up. We're going to talk about compliment factor now. I'm going to head to the gym very quickly, do a quick walk on the treadmill, and yeah, we'll talk about compliment factor. Which one do I think is the best for getting that good attention today? On to compliment factor then, and which one of the 3 fragrances do I think is best for getting compliments? Well, I know for a fact the one I would compliment the most is Bentley For Men Absolute, but out of the 3 fragrances I've had, that's the only one, and I've had 2 bottles of it, where I've never had a compliment on it, and that might just be, again, because of the stuff I sort of wear, maybe my age, maybe it's a bit more grown up, maybe people think it doesn't necessarily suit me, and that's why it doesn't get compliments, because I do think it is a compliment getting sent, but maybe that extra seriousness about it, and maybe that lack of versatility does go against it a little bit more. And then it leaves the other 2, and I'm going to have to just go with my experience here and experience with these phrases in general. I'm going to give it to Sakura. Lush Sakura. I can give you an example of when I had a compliment on this one. I was working in, obviously, one of my last jobs, I was working in school. I remember I went in the office because I used to have to give like letters to the teachers to pick the school teams. They got sent out to parents, and I remember one of the ones in the office said, "Oh, you've got that nice smell again." And by that stage, I hadn't really noticed it, and I hadn't taken it with me. You know, I literally just put it on that morning. So for it to have lasted 6-7 hours, it was quite a hot day, and still get that attention on it, I think it's very impressive. And I've chosen to wear that one on occasions where I've wanted to try and make a good impression, try and get a compliment as well. So it's one of those ones I have reached for that exact purpose of getting compliments, and I think Lush in general are the best for that. And I think on top of the fact, and I know this is kind of a separate factor, but you can get Lush so readily available in so many different parts of the world, whereas Marks and Spencer's, I don't think you can so much for these fragrances. I've got to give it to this Lush body spray. I don't think it's limited edition. I think it's a staple. You can go and try it in the shop, and that extra sort of strength, that big atomizer you've got, that extra 200ml, makes it perfect. There's so much versatility for it. I'm quite looking forward to wearing it at the gym today. So yeah, it's 2-2, so there's going to be a decider hopefully before we go into longevity. But yeah, maybe Bentley For Men Absolute, maybe that can win the round for longevity later on. So it's literally just gone 11:30. It's probably the earliest I've ever left the gym. It's definitely the smartest I've been. I've got like this nice shirt on, I've got chino shorts and everything. I've had a proper shower, and honestly, the difference it makes, just like doing your hair and everything else, it just makes you feel so much better. It's not just fragrances. Sometimes you can feel a bit dirty and grimy, particularly if you're doing a lot of exercise like myself. And a nice spray, but also having a nice hot shower after makes such a difference. But it is, of course, a couple of hours since I applied the fragrances, and which one has lasted the longest, which one has survived the shower the most, and ultimately the one I wear when I get back before we go out for our lunch today. So let's give them a smell. I put both fragrances that were winning in this side. Oh yeah. Okay, there is a clear winner here, and to be honest with you, none of them are super strong. I've said this with Sakura before from Lush. It's one where it smells really strong and you think it's going to last all day, but once you have a shower, because I don't think there's a huge amount of notes in this, it does wear off quite quickly. Deep Mimosa is probably 20% strong, where I say Sakura say 55-60, and then Bentley For Men Absolute is probably around that sort of 25-30% as well. So we have a winner today, and it is Lush Sakura. Yes, that has been the strongest. I think on a cooler day, it has certainly warmed up now. This one would be the one that definitely gets me through the day the most. And to be honest, it probably is the best all-rounder of the three options today. It's one that I think is the most unisex. I think it's the one that gives you the best sort of projection of that opening blast, and overall just lasts that a little bit longer, a bit safer, but it also has the quality about it as well. And that extra bottle size means you can overspray a little bit more, and it's not one where you think, oh, it's really strong, I can't spray too much, this is going to be too cloying, too divisive, and not very nice for someone else who's around you. I really like it. It's a very good fragrance. I'm looking forward to wearing it actually today, and I think it complements the jazzy shirt that I've got on. So yeah, going to get that, spray that on, and probably by the end of this video you'll see some pictures of our meal later today as well. I'm not sure I'm going to have yet. Hoping they're soup of the days, guys. I haven't had soup in ages, but yeah, I'm sure I'll have something healthy because I've got to. It's a fitness channel as well after all, isn't it? But yeah, thanks for watching today. Catch you later.